All right, so this video, um, Revit tip, is going to focus on getting us or building a door, like a solid core door to place inside of a curtain wall system. Because I think there's a single door, glass door, and a double glass door that comes with Revit, but they don't have any solid wood doors to put in curtain wall systems like you would use inside, like an interior curtain wall going into a guy's office doesn't always have a glass door. Sometimes they're solid. So anyway, I want to show you how to make one from scratch. So here we go. All right, let me see. I'm going to share my screen with you. Okay. Now, how do we, there we go. There we go. Now we're talking. Okay. So let's go first down to this right here. In the plan of this little building, I just so happen to have look at this. I have a curtain wall system right there. See it? Curtain wall system in between the lobby and the conference room. And it has a glass door in it. In fact, if I go up here to the little house at the top and do the drop down, I can put a camera in, okay? I'm gonna put a camera in. I'm gonna stand way back over here by the stair. I'm gonna look toward this. And what do we got? There it is. Okay, this is the glass door that I'm talking about. Let me just highlight it. Boom, right there. That glass door is just wonderful and all, but I'm telling you, if I wanted to have a solid wood door there going into this conference room, how would I go about doing that? So I want to show you how to do it right now. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to click on File, hover over New, and pick Family, okay? What we're looking for is a new curtain wall door. And so if I open up this, I'm going to work in this English Imperial, and I'm going to come down here. Look at this. Curtain wall panel, curtain, I'm going to come down here, door, look at this, door in a curtain wall. Hey, that makes sense. So that's the one I want to open. Okay, I'm going to hit open. Now, it honestly doesn't have very much in here for you to go with. All we've got is, let me just get my face out of the way a little bit. Okay, this is what we're working with, people. This is a top-down view. Exteriors on this side, interiors down below, but there is nothing here, nothing. The only thing they've done for us is they've put in the sides, and if I go to the, I'm going to go to the exterior view of this thing, okay? So you can see it. They have put the top, bottom, and the sides of whatever we build automatically extends and stretches to fill this box right here. That's how curtain walls work. So if I have a door and in Revit, we make the grid lines only a foot apart, my door will be a foot. If I make the grid lines 3 foot apart, it'll be a 3-foot door. And if I make it 6 foot, we're gonna have a 6-foot door. These things, these objects, these curtain wall doors or curtain wall windows and panels, they flex to meet up with the curtain grids, okay? So anything we build in here, we have to, we just have to we have to think about that, okay? So here we go. Let's go back to the plan view, and they call it reference level. So here we are, looking down on top of this thing. Now, before we start, I want to give it a little bit of control. Control so that you guys can actually move the door if you want to in the frame. That doesn't come naturally in Revit. It doesn't have that parameter. And the door thickness, it's not built in. So they have a parameter waiting to be used. But anyway, so here we go. Here's what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click up here, and this is what I want you guys to do when you're making your solid wood door to go into that, into a curtain wall. So here we go. I'm going to go to move my face down and click on reference plane. I want a couple reference planes. I'm going to put 1 and 2 reference planes. Okay, see those 2 reference planes there? The in between those 2 reference planes is where I'm going to build my door down here. Okay, And then I'm going to put a dimension down to the door so that I can control that setback or that offset. So here we go. I'm going to put a dimension, DI on the keyboard. I'm going to put a dimension between those two lines that I just drew. Okay, the original line's up here, right up there. And if you click on it, it says center, front, and back. That's the original. My two lines are down here, okay? Now, my little dimension string doesn't matter what the distance is. I'm going to click it, and then up top in the label, I'm going to assign it to be thickness, okay? That's the only parameter that's preset in this family so far. All right. And so now if I went over here to these family types button, I can set the thickness of my door to be 1.75 inches or whatever, however many centimeters that is for you if you're working metric. And when I say okay, these two lines are going to go to that distance. Watch. Okay. It just moved. See that? If you weren't looking, it moved to 1 3/4 inch. That's the typical thickness of a door. You could make it any thickness you want. Okay. Now we're going to set the setback. I'm going to put a dimension from the center down to my door. Okay. And when I highlight that dimension, I don't have offset as a parameter. So I have to hit this new button. Okay. And my new parameter is going to call it offset. Offset. Okay. And I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to leave it as a type parameter. I'm going to hit OK. So this, now I have an offset and thickness. So I'm going to set, this is at some weird dimension. I'm going to set it at 1 foot. Watch. I'm going to click on the little family types button, the ice cubes. I'm going to change my offset to 1 foot. Okay. Boom. It moved. So the reference planes are working properly, but we don't have any geometry. So here we go. I'm just going to say create an extrusion. I'm going to use the rectangle tool. And look at this. I'm just going to go from this intersection down to that intersection and check the box. Done. Okay. I know that sounds crazy, but if you look in the exterior view, it's too short. See? So I need to highlight it and lift this shape handle up until it engages in that and lock it. So now I've got myself a panel that is locked width and height. It locked to width automatically because I used the intersection of those reference planes. Whenever you use intersections, it locks to it. That's just automatic in Revit. But then I lifted this up to the reference plane and I had to lock that one. So this is ready to go. This is ready to work. If I were to put this back in the project, it would have no material and it would just be a panel that kind of, it was 1 foot out offset, and it would flex to the right size of my panel. But that's not what I want. What I want to do is assign this a material, and I want to put a couple door handles on it so it actually looks like a door. Huh? Okay, so look at this. I highlight it and move my face out of the way. Over here in the properties, you'll see one called material. I want you to click on the little tiny button on the far right over against the side. Click on that button. And what comes up is this. This is associating a parameter with this piece of geometry. So I'm going to hit the new button and I have to just give it a name. I'm going to call this door material. Okay, door material. And so I'm going to hit OK. Just leave it as a type parameter and hit OK. So now when we're back in the project, I can click on this panel and tell it to be wood, to be painted, to be plastic laminate. I can give it a material back in the project because of what I just did. Okay. Next. Okay. What I want to do is put a couple handles on it. I'm going to go to the reference level, looking down on it. This is my door just sitting there. What I want to do is get a handle. So I'm going to say, I'm going to go to insert and I'm going to hit load a family button right there, load a family. And I want to go to, look at this. On your computer, if you go to C drive and program data, you can go to Autodesk. Then you can scroll down to RVT to whatever version you're using. And I've got 2022. And then you can go to Where is it? Libraries. This is just where the stuff is on your server. Anyway, I'm going to go to English Imperial, not your server, on your computer. Okay. And then I'm going to come down to doors and look at this, door hardware. And look at, there's a lever style door. There is a entry door or a pull door, domestic knob, but I'm going to put a lever on there. Okay. I don't feel like putting panic hardware or a push plate, whatever. I'm going to put this one, lever handle. So when I say okay, I load it in my project. Okay. And it loads in, and under families here, look at this. Under families, there's doors, and there it is, lever handle. And I can highlight standard. I can actually just drag it over, and I'm going to, this lever handle here. Okay, ready? Wait for it. I want to put a lever handle there, and I want to put one on this side. I'm like, oh no, this one's facing the wrong way. Well, no big deal. Just mirror it, okay? Without making a copy, just mirror it, okay? So whatever. And they don't have to align with each other yet, because I'm going to show you how to do that. What we do want these levers to be is exactly attached to the two sides of the door, okay? So I'm going to go to align, go to here, face of the door, U, and lock. And then this one, go to the other face of the door, U, and lock. Okay, so now these things are locked to the face of the door. That's great. They're not in the right place, but they're at least locked to the face of the door. That's one step in the right direction. Let's go to the exterior view, okay? And they're both sitting down here on the ground. I'm going to change my visual style to be shaded so that I can tell which one's on the one side of the door and which one's on my side. This one, friends, right there is on the side of my side of the door. This other one, if I drag it up and let go, it disappears because it's on the other side. We'll get to that second. So here we go. I want this door handle to be 3 feet off the floor. So I can just put a dimension to it. DI on the keyboard from the reference level up to the middle of the door handle. Okay, you see that? And now I can pick the door handle, and this turns into a live dimension, and I can change it to 3 feet. And then I'm going to highlight it and lock it. Okay, so now that thing is locked 3 feet up off the floor. But I want the handle to be 3 inches off of the door jamb. So I do that again, DI. But you got a dimension from this reference plane down to the center of the handle, okay? And that is not where I want it 3 inches. So I can highlight it and change that to 3 inches. But then I have to highlight that and lock it. So now when my panel moves, that handle will always stay 3 feet up and 3 inches over. Now I'm going to switch over to the interior side and do the same to that handle, okay? I'm going to switch it to shaded, okay? And then here we go, DI, dimension from the ground, middle of the handle, from the reference plane on the left now to the middle. And the fun part on this is you can highlight it and change them both at the same time. I'm going to change this one to 3 inches and this one to 3 feet, okay? Okay, so you can change them, and then you got to lock them. There's the 3 foot locked, and wait for it. There's the 3 inches locked. Okay, now we've got a handle, we've got a door, we've almost got this thing done, but not really. If we load this back into the project, let's go to the ref level, top down. This is what we're going to see. We're going to see a door in line with the curtain wall, but usually with doors, hey, usually with doors, we want to see the swing and the door opened. So we want the actual geometry to be invisible. I know that's crazy, but here we go. I'm going to pick this handle on the downward handle, and I'm going to say visibility settings, and I'm going to uncheck display in plan view. That's what that checkbox is. I'm going to say, okay, so that one's not going to be visible in plan view. And now I'm going to click that other one, visibility settings, and uncheck it and say, okay. And now I actually want the panel itself visibility settings, I do not want it to display in plan view or when cut in plan view or reflected ceiling plan. So I uncheck both of those and I say, okay. So now, basically, if I load this in, it's going to be invisible in plan view, completely invisible. But what I do want to see are symbolic lines that represent the door opened and the swing on the floor. You guys with me? So here's how you do that. You click on annotate and symbolic line. And then what we're going to do from this tippy corner right here, we're going to draw a line down, okay? And we're going to draw a line down and over and back up and closed. That is going to represent the door. And I just realized that I'm going to highlight all those, okay? I need to highlight all 4 of those. I made them door projection. Don't want them to be door projection. Those need to be door cut. So they're nice and thick lines when they show up in our project. But this is the wrong distance and the wrong width, the thickness. So look at this. First of all, align, go to the reference plane, back of the door, and lock. Okay, that's important. You want the back of the door to stay there and not just go wherever it wants in Revit. And now I'm going to put a dimension from the reference plane to the other side of the door. Okay, and I'm going to tell that, I'm going to change the label to thickness. And take a look, it automatically goes to the thickness we have set in the project. Now, here's one thing we got to do. We need to find out how wide this is right here in this project. I'm going to hit a dimension string. I'm just going to check it. 6 feet, okay? So that means from this front of the door, okay, back to the back here needs to be 6 feet also. Work with me here. So I just need to grab that little line and change this dimension to be 6 feet so it matches. Okay. All right. We're not going to lock either one of those. Those are for reference. Now we got to put the door swing in. So I'm going to go to annotate, click on symbolic line, and let's leave it on door projection. But here's the tool we're going to use. It's an arc. We want to put a center and ends arc. So click on it. The center is over here, the back of the door, this side. So click on that. That's the center, okay? And then we're going to click on the ends. One of the ends is the end of the door. And I pull it nice and slowly over. And the other side is right here, the front of this door. Click. Now, right here, we need to lock both of these 2 locks that show up. This lock locks it to the door over there, and this one locks it to the back of this door over here, so that they are working, so that this thing works. Okay, let me just tell you. Wait, lock. There, it's locked. Both of them are locked. Okay, now you can hit escape. Now this is ready to go. This thing is ready to save and load back into the project and use. Okay, here we go. I'm going to hit save. And of course it goes behind my face every time. We're going to call this wood door lever handle. Wood door lever handle. I'm going to hit save. Okay. So now that it's saved, I'm going to load it into my project and close it. Now let me show you how this works. All right, we're going to go back to the plan view. Take a look. You're going to see that our initial, well, before I swap this other glass door out, I want to show you something. We're going to go down to families, okay? And we go down to doors and expand that. And sure enough, in your list will be wood door level handle. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Okay, no big deal. Right name, rename, lever handle, okay? And I expanded it so that I could rename the, not just the family, but the type also. Lever handle. Okay, that looks good to me, okay? So that is, if I double click on not the family name, but I double click on the type name, the properties are going to pop up. And I can go ahead and set the door material right here. Click on, if I put my cursor right here where it says by category, this little button with 3 dots will come up, and I can change that to be, wait for it, cherry wood, birch wood. I'm going to leave it at birch and say, okay. So I just told that panel to be birch wood. The offset is a foot, but I don't want that. I want it to be at 0. And then the thickness is 1 3/4. So I say, okay. So I've preset this thing for success. Now, if I click on this door and then I come over here, wait for it, and I go to the properties, I got my face way down at the bottom, okay? I come over here to the properties and I click on this, I can swap it out. If you scroll down, you'll find your door right there. Wait for it. At the bottom on mine, because it's alphabetical, wood door lever handle, okay? So I'm going to click on that wood door lever handle, and it just, oops, it's, okay, it broke, but it's not done. I'm going to fix it. Wait for it. This here door needs to, I need to hit edit family. Of course, there's always something. And I think what's going on is the back of this door. Okay. The back, I need to make sure the back of this door. Well, what? Okay. The problem I'm having right now is the back of that door is, it needs to be, remember how it needed to be locked to this reference plane? And I thought I did that. Align and lock. Okay. And now I wanted my thickness. I think I already set my thickness. And I set my thickness. Let me see, dimension from reference plane out. Highlight that and set it as thickness. And so this should work. But I'm going to fix it. I'm going to make sure it works. I hate it when this happens. Annotate a symbolic line using this center. Okay. I'm just making sure I've got this right there. Come on down to here, and we lock both of these. This should work. Okay, save. Save. Save as, yeah. Lever handle. Save. And load into project and close it. Overwrite the old one. Okay. All right. Maybe I didn't click the right buttons to make it work, but take a look. This door now, I've got a flip handle that only flips it left and right. I'm like, wait a minute, it's only flipping left and right. That's bogus. What if I want to flip it to the other side? I can edit family one last time. In the plan view, take a look. It's only got a flip handle to go to change the door swing, but it doesn't have a flip handle to change the jam side. So I'm going to hit this button right here, control. And the control I want is a double horizontal. So I'm going to put the double horizontal right there. See that? There's a double horizontal and a double vertical. Okay. And now I'm going to hit save again. And yes, overwrite it. And we're almost done, people. And load into my project and close it and overwrite the old one. Now take a look. When I highlight it, I have a double flip handle. I can flip the jam side or the swing side. Okay. And I want to show you guys, wait for it. Let's go back to our 3D. We're going to go back up here to our 3D views, our 3D. There it is. Look at, would you just look at that? Would you just look at it? I have a handle on a door, and it's a wood door in the curtain wall panel. All right. So it worked. I love it when a plan comes together. That's how you create a door to be used in a curtain wall panel. And no matter how big I make that curtain wall, it is going to stretch and fit to that curtain wall. All right. Whew-wee. Sorry, I had a little bit of a snafu right there in the middle. And, but it worked, finally worked. Sometimes that happens. Revit has gremlins, got to watch out. All right, I think that's all for now. If you guys have any questions or problems, put them in the comments below and we'll go from there. All right, until we meet again, happy Reviting. Bye-bye.